Welcome everyone to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone. It's season 3, episode 18. It's called Dead Man's Shoes. So full spoilers for the episode, as always. This episode, the premise is quite simple. A homeless man stumbles upon a dead body that the mob, or a gangster, has disposed of in an alleyway. He steals the dead man's fancy shoes, and slowly kind of becomes possessed by the spirit of said dead man, who wants revenge on the gangster who killed him in the first place. And kind of surprising to us, because we kind of speculated last week that when we heard from the description, we both guessed that like people would see him as the gangster, that no one would actually just see the homeless man. We were actually completely wrong on that, because they do see him. It's more that he's possessed by the spirit rather than... Because we thought he would just be himself, but other people would see him as the gangster. But it was the other way around, which is fine. That's what it is. Which is fine, because honestly that leads to maybe probably the best mechanic in the episode, which is other people starting to be suspicious why this guy's hanging around, but why he seems to be doing things and saying things that this guy they've just murdered did. So, Tara, what did you think of Dead Man's Shoes?
I thought it was a decent episode. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed every time like he made the switch and became like super confident. Like he's a good actor. It came through really well. It was just sort of good Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say good. I'd probably lean towards the first word you used, which was decent. I think it's a perfectly watchable episode that doesn't really do anything wrong. I don't think it's that exciting or does anything like that got me going. The resolution especially kind of felt like it was just the inevitable resolution that it was always going to have. The idea that the episode would end with him getting killed again, and then the second homeless man finding the now first homeless man's dead body and taking his shoes. The idea being there's going to be an endless cycle where this guy's spirit's always going to keep coming for this gangster.
It follows. Do you think you'd like it more?
It's not It Follows. You recently described Chud 2, Bud the Chud to me as It Follows, and that was you way overselling that movie. Like, I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but you were way overselling that.
Oh, only because how they were defeated in the end.
Okay, the swimming pool thing. Okay, fine.
In a school.
I get that minor comparison, but
So therefore, the films are comparable.
Comparable. They both star human beings. We're filmed on Earth, yes.
In a swimming pool.
But anyway, so I agree. The performance of the actor is probably because he doesn't switch immediately when he first puts the shoes on. There's a couple of scenes where he's kind of gradually turning, and then he kind of almost is like just kind of not forced, but it's like he's drawn to like the apartment of where this man lived. And then it's once he gets there with the girlfriend / wife, whoever she may be, and she's like, "Who are you? Why are you in my apartment? My husband's a really serious gangster. When he gets home, he's going to kill you for being here. What are you doing?" And that's where kind of, because obviously at one point he takes the shoes off to go for a shower, and he actually, so there's a transition where he comes out with the guy's like fancy suit on, he's all cleaned up, and I'm like, wait, how did he shower without changing back into the homeless man? Did he go into the shower with the shoes on?
I did think about that also. Like, I guess maybe just one shoe is all it takes.
Maybe. So he had like one foot out the shower and in the shoe, and he would do the rest.
Yeah. And then he can when he gets out, he could put the other shoe on and let that shoe dry.
And do the little leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we've figured it out. But yeah, he sort of slowly starts asking for things. But he has a very particular drink, which is important because it's set up for later when he goes to the other gangsters, like sort of bar / hideout, where when he asks for the tequila with the cube of sugar in it, everyone's like, wait a minute, that's that dead guy's drink. What's he doing here?
Yeah, I kept thinking if it would be good or not. I guess it'd be okay. I'm not sure.
I don't even know what tequila tastes like. That's me.
It tastes like party time. I don't know how to describe it. Something about tequila that makes people want to party. It's a different type of flavor. Tastes like spring break.
Okay, sure, yes. Also a foreign concept to me, but that's fine. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the basic gist of it. It's the character beats of him, you know, like because the wife at one point pulls a gun on him, and he's out of character because he's taking the shoes off to go for the shower, and he gets all kind of weaselly, and it's kind of, and he's like, I don't understand why I'm here, ma'am. I'm sorry, please don't kill me. I found him in an alleyway. Don't kill me. But then once he puts the shoes on, he gets all sort of straight up again, and he slaps her and takes the gun and says, "Fix me my drink."
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice message about how the right pair of shoes can give you confidence, or it's an allegory for how important shoes are to an outfit.
I don't know if I agree with either of those takes. Well, it's not so much that. I mean, I guess the first thing I kind of agree with, except for the part where you said it was a good message. I don't know if I agree it's a good message. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a whole lot from this outside of just like these small moments of fun. Other than that, the resolution was just kind of whatever. He goes, he asks for a meeting with the gangster. They shake him down, but he's got two guns, of course. And we find out the first way he died is because there's like a bookcase that's got like an opening in the back, and like one of the henchmen shot him from behind. But this time he dodges and goes, you think I'd fall for that a second time? But then he gets shot again because there's a second bookcase with a second henchman ready to shoot him, and he dies that way. And they go and dump him in the same alleyway, and one of the other homeless men we met from like the second scene were like, because he's got like two homeless buddies who come up and say, "Oh, where'd you get those fancy shoes? Oh, could we maybe like, they look a bit tight on you, maybe I should take those shoes instead." And he fights them off. Well, I say fights, he just sort of tells me to piss off. But
yeah, it's the same thing that he does later with the wife or girlfriend. It's just he just gets his confidence and tells them to leave him alone, and they, you know, they do just because he comes off as somebody who can hurt them.
Yeah. Why there's such a posh sounding British man who's a homeless man in the middle of whatever American city this is supposed to be, I don't know, but you know, whatever.
Came over on the Titanic with big dreams.
I don't know why you picked the ship that most of the people coming across died on. It feels like it's a very narrow chance it was the Titanic.
All right, the Queen Mary won.
But yeah, they stuck out to me. They're really sort of posh, like, you know, aye kind of voice, and I'm like, this is a weird homeless man to be living in here, but okay, it's not impossible. It's not impossible that he came, you know, he went over to the US and fell in hard times afterwards and still has his accent. But
maybe he found a way to get there because he was already homeless and thought, it's warm in California or Florida, wherever they are, I should go there.
What did he do? Sneak on a boat? Sneak on his cargo? Yeah. I'll just hide between the sardines and the
potatoes.
The potatoes, yes. Just hide in here. Yes. I'll go over there. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of like great insight for this episode. I mean, it boils down to essentially the idea of this spirit wanting revenge, sort of coming back no matter what. And eventually, it's almost like a Groundhog Day / Edge of Tomorrow style thing, where next time when he tries this, he'll know about the second gunshot. So eventually, there's not enough. Yeah,
it's about like the man being haunted by the man who killed him, or the man he killed. Yes. Yeah,
and the stuff. I mean, maybe there is stuff to read into it, but what it represents, the idea of like being taken over with the shoes, the idea of the infectious personality or whatever. But it feels more like it's just a setup for the ending to me about, you know, this guy being haunted by the person he killed. And it's not like...
I like that ending, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought it was a good moment where he looks at him while he's dying and says, "I'll be back." Like, you don't know when, but I'll be back. I'll never stop until you're dead.
This is what I say. The episode does nothing wrong. I think it's perfectly solid performed. It's solid directed. It's a nice enough idea. It just doesn't excite me that much. Maybe it's just because, I don't know, there's no... Maybe this is one where I feel like it needed a bit more of a twist, something a bit more... When I say twist, I don't mean like sort of take the rug out from under me. I just mean something, an extra spark, an extra thing to make me go, ooh, I see what they're doing here. It's fine. It's a fine episode. You know, Rod comes out at the end, tells us about next time. And he starts off by saying like, there's no more, you know, character in fiction that's used as often as the Grim Reaper. I'm like, yeah, I know. Twilight Zone's done it like 8 times. Come on, Rod.
I don't know about other shows.
But yeah, Twilight Zone's definitely done it a number of times at this point already, Rod. But yes, so it's called The Hunt, and here's the description on IMDb. Upon returning from a coon hunt, Hyder Simpson discovers that no one can see or hear him because he has passed on. Oh, so he's already dead. Okay. All right. Also,
It
Rod,
seems like they just spoiled it.
yeah, Rod did mention there was a dog, and he also mentioned that this was for people who could find their sense of, or want to refine their sense of humor.
Right.
Which suggests it's going to be a comical episode, which doesn't necessarily sound like that from the premise. So, at least that might mean it has an interesting take or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We haven't had a comedy in a little while. I guess since Buster Keaton one was kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, Twilight Zone doesn't necessarily always pull the comedy off, so
No.
we'll see how that goes.
Did you get the Chesterfield Smokes?
I did.
Ad also?
I did get the ad at the end. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever got one of those before.
Yeah, and there's an awkward pause, clearly, so it could be edited out. Potentially, because it's just the end of his little thing where he's promoting next week's episode, but there's like a pause where he kind of waits a beat.
It's like 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention because it's happened a few times before. Obviously, I've brought it up, and I thought, there's no point. It happens occasionally now.
I don't know that I've ever gotten it. I know you've brought it up before, but I think maybe once there was some sort of plug for
something
for cigarettes or something, but.
What's so weird about it is that I assumed they were gone from the all access version, or soon to be Paramount Plus, because they're rebranding.
I've seen the commercials.
I assumed it was just a consistent thing. They wanted to take the smoking ads away, but at the same time, it seems so inconsistent that I don't even understand why. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't even get Rod saying what the next episode is at the end. It feels like it's all over the place in terms of which edit you're getting per episode.
I think I don't know if it's like a CBS thing. It has to be because you have the Blu-rays and everything's included on those. But yeah, I don't understand. There was like one episode of Deep Space Nine throughout the whole 7 seasons, which for some reason only had the ADR dialogue and no other sounds and no other like background or music or anything. And it was so weird to watch.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and that I've never experienced that before, and it was just on CBS.
Yeah, that's odd. That's obviously just a mistake. That is not intentional.
Yeah, they just have some other format thing that they're working with, I guess.
Yeah, that's very odd. Because I would suggest that the Twilight Zone thing is about just editing them down to fit a tighter time slot, or more specifically, the idea that we have more ads these days than they did at the time when they first aired. So they cut out the endings to give them the extra 30 seconds to a minute for ads in the middle. But
yeah,
that would mean it would have to be consistent in every episode, though. So why are some episodes getting the 30 seconds or a minute chunk cut out of it and then others aren't? It's weird.
I don't know.
It's very odd. I don't know. It's just weird. Anywho, but yeah, that's it. That's the episode. So it's a bit of a shorter one, but honestly, I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
I think it's a good one.
It's there. It exists. It won't offend you. Have a nice time. Thanks very much for watching. You can, of course, get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show, you can hit the like button and subscribe, all those things. They do help a lot. YouTube values them quite a bit. Tara will tell you about Patreon.
Yeah, if you enjoy our reviews, please check out the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/MildFuzzTV, and if you donate $1 per month, you'll get bonus episodes for other shows we do, and if you donate $5 per month, you will get access to these episode reviews 1 week early, and some other shows you get a week early, some shows you get a day early. So it's a real treat. Check it out.
And that about does it. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV in the Twilight Zone.